Today we have with us two industry stalwarts who require no introduction. So I'm not going to get into details of introducing the guests. I'm sure everybody in the education segment would know them already. I will just welcome Dr. VNN Murthy sir. Welcome to the show, sir. It's a pleasure having you today here. On a Sunday morning, you have taken time for us. Grateful to you for that.
Thank you very much, Sid.
And welcome Mr. Ishwaran sir. Ishwaran sir is the Grandmaster of IIT JEE coaching, and we are very happy you have taken time on a Sunday morning again for this discussion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So today we are going to discuss a very important topic which has recently been trending in the news and affecting, impacting students, parents, educationists, academicians across India. Decisions creating ripples across media and educational institutions. We are going to talk about the exams getting cancelled, board exams, the most critical exams in a child's career being cancelled, board exams which are considered gateway for admissions to colleges and universities in India as well as abroad. There are long-term implications, short-term implications of these cancellations. Implications on admissions, implications on emotions, implications on uncertainty, anxiety that is being created, and uncertainty that lies ahead. So we have two prominent personalities, Dr. VNN sir, Murthy sir, who is from the education fraternity, who has been managing large schools in the last several decades and closely worked with children, who is going to give us inputs on what could be the impact of the cancellation of exams. So sir, for you, we have the first question that we have collated. Class 12th marks are really considered very critical in India because these marks are considered for admission to universities. These marks are considered for lifetime records. These marks are going to be mentioned in the resume of all the students. And how is the cancellation going to create chaos in the careers of children for their lifetime? So we would like to hear your views, sir.
Yeah. As we know, the scores of grade 10 and grade 12 are very important to the students, not only for joining in undergrad courses, they are very useful for them in their future studies. After working hard for 1 or 2 years, depending on the curriculum, if it is CBSE, they have grade 12 exams on grade 12 syllabus. If it is Cambridge, it is on both grade 11 and 12. It is DP, international curriculum. It is on again grade 11 and 12. After working very hard for 1 or 2 years and came to know that exams are cancelled, we can understand the feelings of the students, teachers, parents, and school management also. All boards, just now I told you, CAE, Cambridge Assessment of International Examinations, IBDP, International Baccalaureate, CBSE, and state boards worked on different options to conduct the exams. They waited up to the last minute. Most of the boards have cancelled board exams by considering the present situation prevailing across the world. Still few boards are left, still they are waiting to conduct the grade 10 and grade 12 examinations. Coming to the point, the effect on undergrad courses regarding these grade 12 marks. There will not be much effect on the admissions in undergrad courses. If you consider last year, no university gave admissions in undergrad by giving either weightage to grade 12 marks or by considering 100% grade 12 marks. If you see, for example, our MCET, which both the state governments, Telangana and Andhra are conducting, they did not give weightage to grade 12 or intermediate marks in MCET like previous years. If you consider NIT, admissions in NIT, IIT, deemed universities, the students have to achieve minimum percentage in grade 12 marks, in grade 12. Last year, they did not consider that also. What I want to say is, no university is considered. Last year, they did not consider. This year also, they don't want to consider grade 12 marks. Coming to universities like Sri Ram College of Commerce and Christ University, last year they gave admissions based on CUCET. This year also they want to give admissions based on CUCET, Central University Common Entrance Test. So students need not bother about their, we can understand their hard work. They worked very hard. Still, they need not bother about their grateful marks while taking admissions in undergrad courses. That is from my side, sir.
Ishwaran sir, adding to what Dr. Murthy just said right now, that there's no need to really get hyped up, worried, anxious about board exams and class 12th marks, because last year they have not been considered, and it really does not matter because they're going to take entrance exams at the end of the day to get admission. So then why are people getting so worked up about board exams every year? You have been coaching, teaching, training students for class 12 for so many years. So does it mean that class 12th exams are no longer important?
Hey, I understand, because I just remember a very old saying in Hindi, that is, कहते हैं ना, तो गम बुलाने को गालिब खया है, चीजों में क्या अच्छा है. Why, that's true actually. What like Dr. Murthy told is true. The thing is, in the Indian system, like whatever the examination is kept, whether it's a class test, whether it's a skip test, whether it's a Sunday test or at home test, homework. So the education is so important in our life that average, above average, and even sometimes below average, less motivated students are pushed so much at home that they take that every examination is important. That is first thing. Second thing, it is being put in our mind right from class 8. 10th board is a public exam. 12th board is a public. I'm just talking about CBSE here because that exam is cancelled. I know that other state board yesterday, like Tamil Nadu has cancelled yesterday itself. Like there is no 12th class board. So that means the board exam is a public exam. Public exam is being taken like a ghost. It's like inside the bag. They say if you don't, that means public exam is very important. So now it is more than marks and future. It is like a fear of, like you say, FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So I missed out that opportunity. I wanted to show somebody that I was good. I wanted to show in public that I was good. All this chaos is because of that. Otherwise, there are internationally, I think like Dr. Murthy might be knowing more. Internationally, there are open book exams. Internationally, there are like Proctor's exam at home. I know that India is a very, is not that much advanced when I compare with other states who are actually going through IB and other, like I understand it. But like this much problem is there. But problem is not in the perspective of students' future. It is more FOMO. I missed out something, choot gaya, that concept is coming. So I feel that for students' career is not going to make a big difference, but yes, fear of missing out always there. I should have proved well. Good student will feel that I could have taken 100%, the second student. So that kind of difference will definitely come. Otherwise, not much difference.
Siddhu, here I want to add one more point.
Sure.
So just I have discussed about the institutions in India. Just I want to tell you, because I have experience, I am dealing CIE students, IBDP students and all. So for taking admission in undergrad in overseas, generally students write SAT or ACT. Based on their scores in SAT and ACT only, they will get admissions in reputed colleges. There, what we are doing, leave about pandemic, corona and all, every year they take students' predicted scores from the schools. Why? Because generally they apply in the month of November and December. By that time, we don't get the results of grade 12. The scenario in undergrad admissions in overseas is they consider predicted scores only by giving importance to SAT and ACT.
Okay.
So that is the point as far as admissions in overseas are concerned. Anyhow, we are giving predicted. This year also we give predicted.
Right. But just adding to what you both said just now, there is a rumor or there is a news that they are going to consider internal assessment marks or last 3 years marks. So now there is a doubt that how credible will these marks be? and now I will feel that, my child is, a victim of injustice. She's getting less marks, whereas the neighbor's child is in a different school and that school is giving more marks. So that child will get more marks at the end of the day. So again, as Mr. Ishwaran said, fear of missing out because of this comparison and competition. So how that can be addressed?
Yeah, because I am handling CIE students, means students of Cambridge. I'm handling IBDP, International Baccalaureate, and that is International Curriculum, and CBSE. The criteria for assessments which we got from different boards, they're almost same. They're almost same. What conditions are, what criteria we got from Cambridge board, what we got from International Baccalaureate, and what we got from CBSE regarding grade 10. More or less, the criteria for the assessment is same for all the boards. They have considered our historic data. They have considered last 3-year results. So based on that, here I want to give an example as far as grade 10 CBSE is concerned. First, we got one Google Sheet from CBSE board. They asked all the principals to fill the assessments which they have conducted, whether it is online or offline. Then board secretary has conducted meeting with the principals of both CBSE and KB for more than 2 hours and explained how to fill, how to give predicted grades. And third point is, 6 days back, they have sent one document with FAQs with 18 pages. What best we can do to the students? They have asked us to consider cyclic test marks. They have asked us to consider midterm marks. They have asked us to consider pre-board if we have conducted under these conditions.
Right.
I did not find any difference after applying all their rules and regulations and giving the predicted scores to the students. I felt very happy. Whether they are conducting the exam or not, I did not find any difference in the marks of the students. Still, if any student is unhappy with the marks allotted by the school, they can give exam on the same subject. Government is ready to conduct. That is from CBSE.
Okay. Mr. Ishwaran,
I don't think any injustification is done due to internal assessments and all. We have conducted, most of the schools have conducted more than one cyclic test. They can take best of one. If they have conducted midterm 2, they can take one. They give all the possibilities to favor the students. From
right.
School side also, just now I told you, you also told they have considered the results of last 3 years. They asked us to select 1 year, which is favorable to our school. You have to give marks to the students in such a way that it matches with the average of that year. It matches with the pass percentage of that year. Coming to the highest score, they did not put any condition. If you give highest score according to the caliber of the students, you can give, but the average should be same according to the year which you have opted. And all schools have to be ready with the proofs for any reason if they ask us to submit. So I did not find any difference whether we have considered internal scores or students give final board exams. Went well.
Ishwaran, what is your thought? Is the system process credible? Will there be controversy again in a large country like India, a democracy? So would there be disputes, court proceedings again on, how these assessments have been done?
Yeah, I understand, because again, I use one more word. With great power comes great responsibility.
Correct.
Problem is, again, like public exam, that aura has been created that only when you go in public, your real potential will come out. So public exam are always being given a top priority in India, either it is class 10th or in state board class 11th and 12th. So kids look for their assessment not from the people they know, but from the people they don't know. So that is how society works. See, inside my house, I'm always good. So how outside people look at me, it is what my credibility is. So that kind of writing down on the paper and getting is like a certificate. So always that like satisfaction is different than the satisfaction we get inside. So I'm talking about from the student perspective, right? whatever you do, I know this teacher, I know that teacher, so fine. But they have to understand the same class teacher is checking the paper for somebody else. These people only give, there is nobody from outside will come. All over India, whenever the papers are being checked, either the state board or SCBSE, I'm only confining to these two, not in IBDP and ICSE, because they have a different pattern of doing and assessing. They have always been like internal assessment is there, external both come in 45. So those concepts are there. Here in CBSE, ICSE, like ICSE and other state board, my teacher will check for somebody else. That teacher will check for me. So you scratch man and I scratch yours, that kind of, but we don't know who's scratching who. So that we don't know. So kids feel that they have been given marks from outside. So that satisfaction level is different. Now, second, come to this situation where internal assessment are more important. I'm sure that all the schools have got that much capable faculty, that much unbiased faculty, because we are doing for others, we can do for ourselves. When this assessment is so important, how in India, IBDP, same Indian teachers are assessing in such a correct manner, because responsibility is given in their hand. So without giving responsibility, thinking that the system will fail, I think it is not good. And our teachers have proved it. They proved it for other schools. So they will prove, yeah, definitely inside the student one fear will come. This teacher ko maine makkhan lagana hai, otherwise I won't get marks. So that thinking at that age is true. Like at home, we like try to buy mobile by manipulating father and mother. They'll try to manipulate them. It will happen. Kids will be kids. But I'm telling you, the system is robust. We have got capable people inside the school for assessment. And why not we can use the system being used by Cambridge and IBM? What big deal? Same people are doing there. Same, only it's training and matter of time and thinking that with great power comes great responsibilities.
I think you made a fantastic point actually, because as children move to universities, autonomous universities and deemed universities, everything happens in-house. There is no external powerful body that corrects your papers and gives you marks somewhere else at the other part of the country. So I think that's a valid point. And but are we seeing a paradigm shift from this particular event, which is happening since this year, last year? Will parents now start thinking in a different direction? Okay, board exams are not the ultimate truth. There can be internal assessments and still we can do well. Our children can still progress in life, get admission to good universities. Is that something that you foresee, Eswaran?
See, here paradigm shift was there on cards. It is not because of Corona. So let us not blame the weakest point, because already that like the new education policy, the new education policy has come. We have something in our mind that this will be the kind of like the things we are going to change. I'm not going inside that. That in the class of 8 by the examination, 9, 10, 11, 12 people have to choose their exam, the kind of career they want to go for. So that already there, it is there. It is not that it is not there. So maybe Corona has shifted it around 1 year before or 1.5 years before because of, so this was already there in card. That is one thing, right? It is nothing new, because for me, it is nothing new. Second, when you talk about the assessment done by these people, that means like the credibility and what we talked about. See, the thing is, now how it is happening. You just tell me how Indian, I'm not criticizing, how new education policy came because of there were some lapses in old education policy. Let us understand it. And human, and we all grow with time. It is not criticizing, it is just comparing A with B. Orange and apple, we can't compare, but still, we are just trying to compare what differences because it comes from there. See, the thing is, when we talk about the examination like SAT, which is of international repute, right? So in that SAT, what has happened? Kids, suppose I compare the same with our AIEEE or IIT or NEET examination. Kids study the entire 3 years. I'm talking about 10th, okay, fine, 11th and 12th, math, physics, chemistry, leaving languages. Then after that, they give IIT exam, again, math, physics, chemistry or physics, chemistry, biology, right exam. After 4 years of engineering, they put their brain entirely on their core area, either mechanical, electrical, or being doctor, whatever. Right? I'm talking about engineering now. After 4 years, when TCS give them interview, suddenly they say, no, we don't want the core. You tell me, you do something in English, like it is like your logical reasoning, which is more toward mathematics, which is language. So somewhere there was a flaw in the assessment system and education system, which the government, whatever government, they found out and they are making some changes. So there is nothing new, nothing changed. Yes, it has been pushed towards because of this pandemic. And I feel that this is the right way happening. Internal assessment should be made stronger so that students feel responsible towards the school. See, in this, as on now, it is not, I'm not saying it is not there, it is not much. Because they feel that abhi to board exam hai.
Right. Correct. So Dr. Murthy, just sorry to interrupt you, Ishwaran. There's a very important question I want to ask Dr. Murthy on basis of what you said just now. Rephrasing the same question to you, is the paradigm shift happening because of COVID? And our policy experts have got up from a deep slumber, realizing that okay, something was amiss in our process and system. Now we should do something to change the entire process. NEP was there, but nobody was sure when the entire implementation and execution of that NEP would happen. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, as Yashwan told, it is not due to COVID or pandemic. So government came to one conclusion to change the total education policy under the name National Education Policy. And they want to do 5+3+3+4 in 4 stages: fundamental, foundational, preparatory, middle, and secondary stages. And they want to change the total system in such a way that students enjoy with holistic education rather than rote learning. If you see IBDP curriculum, international curriculum, there the subjects are divided into 6 groups. Student has to select one subject from each group. Means they have to do one English language, they have to do one foreign language, they have to take one subject from experimental sciences, they have to take one subject from maths, they have to take one subject from commerce and all. Means student has to be strong in all the areas. Not like he wants to become an engineer, he has to select MPCR, BPCR, commerce. So they have to take experimental sciences. Individuals and societies, one foreign language, maths and English are must. So like that, even our government wants to introduce subject selection from 9th standard. They don't want to keep or put pressure on the students. If you want to do an engineer, though they are not interested towards physics and chemistry, they have to take physics and chemistry. If they want to become a doctor, though they are not that much good, but they have to do physics. Not like that. So, government wants to give free hand to the students as far as subject selection is required. They want to do from grade 9. They want to do from grade 9. And they want to give more preference to holistic education rather than rote learning. Means conducting exam at the end of the year for any reason. If they get cancelled, what the future of the students will be. So by considering all those factors, not no way connected with COVID and all, a new policy already announced by central government, and they want to start from this from 20 to 23. 20 to 23. Subject selection is according to the student choice. So then things will be easy for the students. No need of taking pressure. So these are the recommendations from government side as far as shift is concerned.
Sir, just adding to your response, in the government is by the people, for the people. We are the world's largest democracy, and everything the government is doing is in the interest of the people. So we all know that the government loves us so much. But we have recently seen in the news that the government has appointed a committee to work out the formalities for the assessments. And in that committee, there are 12 people, out of which 10 are bureaucrats and 2 are school representatives who are from Delhi schools. So when we have a country as large as India, right from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, and we have got Northeast, Manipur, Meghalaya, Assam, and Rajasthan on the west. So how come only Delhi schools have been nominated on the on the panel? So what are your views on that? Shouldn't the government have considered maybe at least from each zone one school, maybe somebody from the south, somebody from the east, someone from the far east, and then maybe from the west?
Sir, whatever the committee decides, then after that, the boards, what they did regarding grade 10 also, they will discuss with the school principals. They will answer to our queries. After accepting by all the principals, then they will come to one conclusion. They did like this for grade 10 also. Though the committee contains 2 principals only from Delhi and the remaining bureaucrats, first they will frame the rules and regulations, how to give the predicted scores. Then they will put for discussion. They will send all those to the schools. They will give answers to our queries. Finally, they will come to the conclusion. Not that whatever decided by this board, they will implement and they will ask us to do forcibly. It will not be like that. Whoever are there in the committee, 100% justification will be done after consulting with the principals of KVs, CBSEs, and other commissioners and all who are connected with the CBSE Education Board. They will take decision. This committee is to frame the rules. That's it. Not that they will frame and they ask us to implement. Definitely, they will discuss with the principals before taking final decision. Any injustification will not be done, or they don't take according the situation in Delhi. I don't think it will be like that.
Ishwaran, what are your views on that? Because you have worked in the south, you have worked in the north, and you have dealt with people in the east also. So don't you feel you will be left out in case the government sitting in Delhi does not consider views from down south?
See, I have my reservations in this that the principles are taken from north, because we don't know where all those principles worked. We have to check the experience that the principal has. So maybe the best two from Delhi, we can't help it. So and like that too, because Delhi, as per my knowledge, is possibly the only place where the examination is only CBSE. There are no other places, because it is most affected. Because I am from there, so I understand that feeling. Because we don't have any other board. It is only CBSE only runs the entire. That is one. So I don't think so. That is the criteria. As per my calculation, maybe they took the most two experienced principals. Otherwise, the director of CBSE have been from Andhra Pradesh, have been from like other parts of India. So there is no biasness there. Maybe it just happened that they wanted two most experienced principals along with other bureaucrats, right? And secondly, we should not forget that bureaucrats also. All of them are educated, and in which department, which bureaucrat is working, we don't know. Some people may be more into education, so it is as good as the head of a principal. So those bureaucrats are also there. So, and secondly, the center of CBSE is there in Delhi. So easy for them to meet and talk rather than calling somebody from some other place during this time. That's what I'm giving a benefit of doubt to the government and asking them to come to Delhi and talk. Then the talk is, why don't you come there and talk? So those things will come. So just put it is not a monarchy, that's for sure. But definitely, I hope that the choice of the principal should be such that they have vast experience across many states in India, if not all, across many places. At least the link should be there. And I hope that this is there. That is the reason. Otherwise, to change the entire NEP, to change the kind of assessment should be done. It is not a joke. It is not a joke.
Awesome inputs. Both of you gave very good responses to this question. Renews our faith in the bureaucracy and the big government.
100%. 100%. How they framed NEP policy, how they gave rules and regulations to predict the scores of grade 10. From that, we got confidence that we are with the safe hands of.
So to our audience, I think this gives you enough reasons to trust the government and just be relaxed. Yeah. So before we move on to next question, we have been obviously reading about the board exam cancellations, but there are indirect implications also. Now, when will the admissions to universities happen? When will the classes start? When will the colleges reopen? There is no clarity. People are trying to go abroad, and the Western universities are not accepting because of the inordinate delay happening here. So people are losing out on their admissions abroad as well. So somewhere I felt, is there an emotional impact as well because of the stress that is happening? So parents or maybe even the children going through various stressful moments right now. So what could be the long-term and short-term both impact on their mental health? Dr. Murthy.
My point is, as far as undergrad course in overseas is concerned, I told you already, they give based on predicted scores. Never they wait for the final board marks. Generally, they give admissions based on SAT.
I would like to interrupt you here. Today's Times of India, at least the Delhi edition, says children are going through a lot of trauma because of delay in the results, and Western universities are not willing to roll out offers.
Yes. My point is that there are some universities, if you take Singapore also, they are giving undergrad courses based on grade 12 marks. But most of the universities, they are either taking SAT or ACT by considering pre-test scores of the students. Right. So there are few universities which are giving only on DP marks. That also predicted. Again, conditions are of two types: condition-based admission, no condition. If you tell that I am expecting 43 by 45, if it is condition-based, if you get 43 in the final exam, they will continue. Otherwise, they don't confirm your admission. So as far as overseas are concerned, that is not a great thing, because most of the universities are going with the pre-test course. Coming to Indian universities, anyhow, they know that the government couldn't conduct the exams. Some exams have cancelled. Some states like our Andhra and Telangana, they are waiting to conduct both 12 exams. I don't think that question arises in India. Either the board has cancelled the exams or other boards are waiting. Just now I told you. So most of the admissions will take place in September, if I am right. Ishwan has to tell, he is in touch with IIT and all. So most of the admissions will take place in September. As far as overseas are concerned, they are considering pre-test scores. If they are very particular about, everyone knows this situation is there throughout the world. So they can write letters to the universities by explaining the situation, or by explaining, as you told, in Andhra and Telangana, because they did not cancel the exam and they are waiting. If at all they get a problem regarding grade 12, they will get with the state boards who did not cancel and who are waiting to conduct the exams. That's it.
Ishwaran, your thoughts on this about the emotional impact?
The emotional impact, like I told in the beginning, will be there. You cannot, because it is the kind of society we are living in. It is not actually affecting their future.
Yes.
But they are feeling again FOMO concept. So it is happening. So somewhere the change has to come. If not today, forget Corona, had been NEP applied, and then they are going by internal assessment work, and the examination happens to be in SAT system, where like they have only 2 subjects, and then certain universities, I'm not talking about outside India, I'm talking about inside India. Maybe in future certain universities say that like apart from SAT general, you have to give SAT PCM. So he's going for any engineering in physics style or in chemistry side. Only that SAT exam will run. So students can choose. That is what I believe that is what the idea of NEP, new NEP is. That they can choose what line and they can have a specialization in that. After that, they can give the exam so that the pressure is less. So this is one thing. Second, at the present situation, I'm not talking about long run. Long run impact of emotional is not there. Present, yes, there will be something like a student who had to get 100 by 100 and a student who has to get 95 by 100. And inside the classroom, we always say that 100 is not 99. So we know that how teachers talk. So then like now both the boys will have almost equal marks. So in that, because Indian entire education system works in mark system. Mark kitna, number, like that they talk. So that numbering only is creating a problem, which the government, and I believe even not only this, any government, the NEP policy started when we all know. Correct. Now it is getting implemented. I'm happy that it is getting implemented. At least against all the odds, we have a common syllabus, common entrance. For BCom, there will be a common entrance. For BSc, there will be a common entrance. Obvious, BTech and your MBBS is taken care by NTA. It is happening like we have SAT for the entire world. For outside India, SAT is a thumb rule. So I am happy that the pressure on the student will be less. So they'll give one examination and entire university and everything, including engineering and non-engineering, all will be open to them. Suppose I want to take admission in that college. So that college may be SAT, physics or chemistry or math. This is what I hope should be there. So that very less effect will be there on kid. And I will be concentrating only on chemistry here from class 7. Chemistry. I know that my aim is these 10 institutes. Apart from SAT general, they will ask me in chemistry. I'll give the exam. So long run, it is going to help out. Stressing out, yes, will be there. भूल जाएंगे बच्चे, इंडिया को भूलने की आदत है, भूल जाएंगे.
Yes, it will be temporary also.
Only temporary, exactly, sir.
Awesome. So one last question. I'm also mindful of the time. So one last question. We keep reading news about fire in apartment complexes, fire in hotels, and then the local corporation realizes that the safety standards were not met, or the fire extinguishers in the building were not equipped, never tested, no mock drills happened.
I'm actually getting where are you coming? Okay, fine.
So did we get up from our sleep after the pandemic hit? So was there no plan B that in case earthquake happens, in case some disaster happens, in case endemic happens, this is what should be done in such circumstances? Did the authorities realize only today that, or last year, that array, now pandemic is hit, now let's form a committee to decide what to do? So Dr. Murthy, your thoughts?
I don't agree that, because whenever any board conducts exams for grade 10 or grade 12, any board exam, generally they take 2 or 3 papers on the same subject. If the paper is leaked or something went wrong in that city, couldn't conduct the exam, then they will conduct the same exam with a different paper and different date. We have plan B, not for this purpose. As you told about COVID, I never had about COVID. No experience. Beyond my imagination also. So what we can do? What only option left to us is either we have to go online by asking the students to sit at home, or by going for internals. If you ask the students to sit at home and give the exam, and any student is suffering from COVID, then what will we do? So they went through so many options. And they tried their best to conduct the grade 12 examinations. Grade 12. From the internal assessments, what we have discussed, finally, to what conclusion I came is, if they don't conduct the final exams also, if they give the exams from the beginning, if they concentrate from day one on the exams which schools conduct, like cyclic test, midterm, pre-board, more or less they will get the same marks. But getting internet in each and every city, you have to have power. When there is no power, there is no internet. When there is no internet, they cannot. It takes a lot of time in India to do such types. That's my point. Not that good. We have plan B always. We have plan B, not plan B for this situation.
Right. So the plan B, Ishwaran, was always for paper leakage and other stuff, but no plan B for natural disasters, I suppose.
And here I want to tell one point, Sidhu.
Sure.
So in the initial stages, most of the schools struggled in conducting online classes. Even you take government, they gave training to the teachers. They have arranged classes, especially in Telangana, through TSAT, DD. Leave about private schools and all. So within no time they came up, they have started classes. How much time they have taken to complete the syllabus before COVID, and last year more or less the same. When I interacted with most of the teachers, what I came to know, due to virtual classes, they did not face any problem regarding the implementation of planners and teaching. Even government, they give training to the teachers. They have arranged classes through TV channels. Only thing is, they failed to conduct physical examination. Not failed, they couldn't conduct the physical examinations. That's it.
Ishwaran, would you like to add something?
Yeah, in this, like, I agree with Dr. Murthy that plan B, because if in India you cannot get plan B, you cannot get anywhere in the world. Because the way the Jugaad system works in India, so in no other part of the world it works. So if we cannot come, actually everybody was looking at India, what we are doing, to be very frank. Everybody was looking at India, what they are doing for the education system, because we are not a developed nation. So we can satisfy all is well by saying we are developing, actually not developed. So we are developing, we can say, right? Either only two are there, either developed or not developed, that's it. Developing nation, slowly we are increasing, I understand. Because we have rural population and urban population, there's a huge difference. So the kind of online classes, the kind of things you can give in the cities, even in tier 3, tier 2, tier 3 city also difficult. signals won't be good. In like the urban population, we are going for 5G. But in rural, 1G also not there. Forget 2G, 3G. So they don't have that data. So, and even apart from the data, there is a lack of education. That means they don't know, knowledge is not there. How to go for mobile, from button mobile to Android, it took almost them 6 months to understand that we can have classes there. So that is one. Second is, when we talk about our like the kind of reaction that India gave, I'm telling you, it was awesome here. Not many students have missed the class. I'm not saying that students didn't miss the class. Some
Yes.
missed the class, some students missed the bus, some students were not able to study, their class gone, issues were there. But it was not largely impacted.
Yes.
So all the students who gave last year exam are being promoted, right? That is one. Some schools have actually conducted the exam because during the month of Feb and March, not that much like the pandemic was there. They conducted the exam internally and finished it off by mask and all, by taking all, and nothing much happened except one or two school in news it came. Second, many of the state government, because 2, 3, 4, I do. If you open the TV, you won't believe they have started channels. Dr. Murthy rightly said. They started channels. They have those people had a pact with like your Tata Sky or DD or your Airtel. They started giving class in mass. In that, many of the NGO came who free of cost trained all the teachers. So many seminars you have conducted, Sid, where like the training is being given how to take an effective online class. In which part of the world will it happen? It is just because that we have equal number of good and selfish people. No, actually, nobody is bad. Good and selfish people. Some people think about all, some people think about themselves. So think about all people actually came out in this pandemic. They were giving free sessions to all, saying that you come to us, we will tell you how to take. Because I got certain mails from the NGO to train my school teachers, to train your school teachers. There is no cost involved, or some was very meager cost because an NGO, some donation you can make. Like that it was. So which was very less compared to any of the online coaching we take. If you talk about like paid Coursera and all, they're expensive, this is very cheap. That was second. Third, nobody in this earth knew that this kind of pandemic and the pandemic second wave will come. We all were very sure that June mein to theek ho jayega, we'll start the classes, everything will happen, because we from like the education industry, we thought this will happen. But the second wave came, and now we have plan Z also. We are bracing up for third wave. Whether third wave is there, not there, what is the effect? Can we like jab everybody before that? In what? But we are ready with that. We are saying that if the third wave comes, we'll see. You see, today in the morning, our like the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal of Delhi told that for third wave we have these many beds ready. So whether it comes or not, so the plan will be there after first experience. And I'm telling you, maybe there are some differences between certain state and like the certain central government regarding jabs and all, but everybody is logging. It is not a normal situation here. That too, country like India where 130 crore people are there, and out of that, not many are knowledgeable, and obvious because of the culture we are born and brought up, we are not disciplined. So morning 6 to 10, if the opening is there in this particular area, because I'm in Hyderabad now, so people will roam as if Corona is sleeping. So those issues are there with government, but in that also, without stopping the classes, even in rural areas also, without something they did, and something they did the class so that they can finish, they reduce the syllabus. What else you want? That was plan B. Reduce the syllabus and pushed it to the next year. And reduce certain syllabus, example 9th class, some syllabus there in 11th, will teach there. 10th class, certain syllabus there in 12th, will teach there. Certain schools who are well-to-do, they can do, they did. Because all the students are from cities and they are having 150, 200 Mbps data, they can see the class for the whole day. But how about the kids who are in mobile? So those plan Bs, I think it will affect for 1 or 2 years, but it won't take life, I'm happy. It won't take like 1 or 2 years, just it is being back. That's it, 1 year back. But it is not affecting life. So I feel that whatever government would do, it is done. More than this, if you are expecting from a government, very difficult, then all the corporate has to come in now.
Right.
Alone government can't do it. It is not possible.
Correct. It has to be through public-private partnership.
Yes, PPP has to be there.
Right. Interesting discussion, Easwaran and Dr. Murthy. So let me quickly sum up what we discussed in the last 1 hour. We are finally very positive that government is doing a lot of things for us, and government is for the people, and they are doing whatever best is possible in this unexpected situation, which nobody could even think of, even in the wildest dreams, that such a pandemic would happen. And we cannot keep having plan B and plan C and plan D. So it's not possible, but practically whatever best was possible has been done. As you rightly said, the stress could be in the short term. Maybe in the long term, it might get forgotten unless it has severely impacted a particular family. Otherwise, the exam stress may not last in the long term. Universities will be considerate, according to Dr. Murthy. They will be realistic because this is a global phenomenon, not something which is happening locally in Hyderabad or Delhi. So they will be realistic. Most universities are ready to accommodate special circumstances, wait for roll out conditional offers and predicted scores and stuff. According to Ishwaran, it's more of fear of missing out rather than a real worry about marks and comparison. It's more about comparison, what has happened with the other guys rather than the long-term impact of the marks. And marks as such may not matter because most university admissions are happening through entrance exams. And considering the size of the country, we are 130 crores, and we keep trying to compare with countries like Finland and New Zealand, which is not even cannot be compared even to some of our states within the country. So it is improper to compare ourselves with these countries and rather look at the magnitude and size at which we are operating. So the key takeaway is that we have to stay positive and look forward and cooperate with the government in ensuring that we come out of this stress coolly and with a lot of hope for the future.